Whatever's in there, it's big and it's moving fast. Drive. Go. Go,
go, go.
Look out! Guys, you gotta get out of here. Do you hear me?
All right, it has been decades since we have gotten a sequel to Twister, and now we have Twisters. So, when it was announced that we would be getting a sequel to the original Twister, I thought, well, what are they going to do? You know, and, you know, I think the original is it's a fun disaster film. And I'm thinking like, okay, I don't really think this needs another one, but let's see what you do. Okay. And I'll say this right off the bat. This feels more like a side story than a sequel. Because you don't see any of the either original characters or even descendants of the original characters. It's all completely new characters, and it's like, okay, that works, but you're not really a sequel. But okay, we'll look past that. So this film, it's about a woman who used to chase twisters, but after something, I won't spoil it, but after something tragic, she has basically left that all behind, and she doesn't do that anymore until her friend who was with her there says, hey, actually, I'm helping this company, you know, with this new technology that can help us, you know, pinpoint exactly where to hit tornadoes so we can hopefully stop them before they cause more damage. So she gets brought along, and then she meets Glen Powell's character, who is the head of this tornado wrangling group that they live stream on YouTube, which at times it's a little distracting, because it's like, all right, so I'm looking at a more talented Logan Paul live streaming that he's chasing a tornado. Okay. It's not necessarily shoved in your face a whole lot, but it is there enough to be like, okay, you guys can stop that. Like, I don't need to see that. You can just say like, yeah, we live stream, and, you know, that's it. But you don't need to casually throw it in there every once in a while, and it's a little annoying, me personally. And then they all decide, you know what, we need to work together because this is getting completely out of hand. Now we're getting double more, and sometimes triple more. So they have to figure out like, okay, how are we gonna survive this, and how are we gonna stop it? Now, the effects are really good. They're really cool. I really enjoyed the disaster parts of the movie. While they are a little scatterbrained, or not scatterbrained, but a little bit scattered throughout the movie. Like, you'll get one, and then the movie decides to take like maybe a 20-25 minute break until we get back into a little bit of it. But it's not really until like the last third when just everything hits at once, and it's like, whoa, this is just crazy. So overall, I really enjoyed the disaster parts of this, which, you know, was the main focus, and they got it right. They got it down. The editing I thought was pretty good. I think both movies are actually good PSAs on Oklahoma, and how it's like, okay, I'm just going to be careful. You know, it's not like Florida, where personally to me, Florida, it just needs to just go away, because it's like there's nothing really good there. The only thing I can really think of is the amusement parks, but that's it. But you know, Oklahoma, it's like, yeah, just steer clear of it. I liked the second half more than the first one. I think its pacing was a little better because the first hour, this is a 2-hour movie. I think the first hour they spend so much time building stuff up, and then by the time that the second hour pops in, it's like, okay, we've set all the cards up. Let's go. Let's just go. It felt like the first hour they were setting up the line of dominoes, but they were setting it up really slowly to, at times it was like, okay, can we kind of speed this up a little bit? And then finally in the last hour they finished it all up, and then they knock it down, and then it goes in a perfect line. So it's like, all right, now this works. So that was personally to me. Glen Powell, he's definitely risen as an actor in the past couple of years, and I think he's becoming a really, really good actor. And not saying that he was before, but the fact that he's popping up in more stuff now is, it's really cool. And I'm really interested to see what he's going to do in the remake to The Running Man, because he's going to be the lead in that. But also that movie is going to be done by Edgar Wright. So I'm thinking, all right, you already got me on board. So we'll see how that goes. I think the acting is really good. At times there are some parts where I'm like, okay, you're a little hamming it up there. But it went away pretty quickly. Benjamin Wolfish, he did the score for this, and I swear that guy is a chameleon. Like I can't, like, every movie he does, it sounds different. It sounds different enough where you can't tell who did it. Like, you go from listen to the score to this, and then go and listen to like Shazam, and then go and listen to something like It. And it just sounds like, whoa, this is just like so different. And it really works. I think he feels very much like, I would put him in like Thomas Newman, who did the score for like Finding Nemo, Skyfall, A Series of Unfortunate Events. And if you listen to those scores, it's like, whoa, this sounds way different, that I can't tell who did this. And he's definitely a chameleon when it comes to music. Now, for me, I didn't really care for anybody, because they were setting up all this time, going like, okay, here's exposition, but not really giving you a whole lot with characters. It also doesn't help that they're doing something that I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. There's no way in hell. You can give me all the money you want. There's no way I'm in hell I'm going to do that. So, while they do feel real, it doesn't cater to me, because I'm like, I'm not going to have that rush to go and chase after a tornado and have stuff potentially flown at me and potentially almost die, or even potentially die. There's no way in hell I'm going to do that. And also, to me, when people get offed, or they're dying, you don't really feel it. They're either like tiny in the background, where with the original, when someone did get offed, you felt it. It was like, oh, well, oh boy. With this, it was kind of like, okay, I kind of expected that. But, and I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that, personally to me, I didn't really care for anybody. It wasn't really until like the third act where I was like, okay, like, I guess I kind of do care, but at the same time, it's like, all right. But, overall, it's, as much as this was a fun disaster film, there was some stuff in there that kept it from being great. I think the first half was definitely pretty slow and was a little hard to keep a level of interest in there. But once the second half rolled around, then its pacing got faster, it got better, and it got a little bit more interesting. I would say this is on par with the first film, which is interesting considering the fact that, it's been almost 30 years since we've gotten a sequel to this. I give this thing a high average, where there's things about it that I think could have been a little better, but overall, was it a fun film? And yes, it was. And did it nail the disaster parts? It absolutely did. And, at the end of the day, that's all they were really trying to capture. And, even with the added story, I think the story works for the most part, but, it's a fun film overall that, wish was a little better, but at the end of the day, I did have fun with it, and, I think you will too.
We got twins! Twins!
Is that it? Nope.